Hello dear students, welcome to my online classes. Today we will read second part of our second lesson. We are not afraid to die if we can all be together, written by Gordon Cook and Alan East. So in the first part of this lesson we have seen how the narrator and his whole family were entrapped in the huge ocean by the violent sea waves and how the strong wave walker was completely damaged and the narrator and his family were seems to be approaching to their death. They tried to send the mayday calls, means the signals, to in the hope to get some help from other ships, but unfortunately they did not get any response or any help from anywhere. So now we will move to the second part. By morning on January 3, the pumps had the water level sufficiently under control for us to take 2 hours rest in rotation. But on the 3rd of January, something good happened. So now the pumps, the auxiliary pumps which the author has planted for pumping out of the extra water from the ship, he was working so nicely that now the level of water uh, on the ship was under control, and now as the captain of the ship, the narrator felt it safe, and now he gave permission to other helpers, other members or his crew members to take 2 hours rest in rotation. So now in rotation, now they can take rest for 2 hours. But we will still had a tremendous leak somewhere below the waterline, and on checking I found that nearly all the boat's main reef frames were smashed down to the keel. But again, as still a large volume of water was coming inside the ship, so the narrator tried to find out the leak, and then he observed that at the keel the water was coming uh, in from uh, the keel where the reef's frames were smashed, means they were uh, destroyed completely by the violent waves. In fact, there was nothing holding up a whole section of the starboard hull except a few cupboard partitions. So partitions here means the linings, means the walls made by uh, the wood. So then the author realized that those strong and violent waves had smashed, broken down the ship from the right side, as right part of the ship was directly hit by the strong waves, and now all the boats were scattered apart. We had survived for 15 hours since the wave hit, but Wave Walker wouldn't hold together long enough for us to reach Australia. So now the author said that 15 hours, they have spent 15 hours battling with the sea waves, and now the wave walker, which very carefully they have designed to designed for their journey was nearly collapsing. Now, this wave walker is was not in the situation to carry them safely to Australia, their final destination. I checked out charts and calculated that there were two small islands a few hundred kilometers to the east. One of them, Ile Amsterdam, was a French scientific base. Now again, the narrator he went to his chart room and he again started making calculation, and then he found that he estimated that there are two islands which are still a few kilometers away in the east, and then one of the two islands was Ile Amsterdam, which was once used as a base camp by the French army. Our only hope was to reach these pinpricks in the vast ocean. And now the author very uh, bravely and very enthusiastically admits that their only hope of survival was this island, Ile Amsterdam. And but now it seems like pinpricks in the vast ocean. So pinpricks here means very small in size, as this area of the ocean was very large, and this Ile Amsterdam, an island, it is a very small island, and so now it can be compared as the size of a pin as compared to the vast area of the ocean. So now it is very difficult to exactly locate this position in the sea. But unless the wind and the sea abated, then so we could hoist sail, our chances would be slim indeed. The great wave had put our auxiliary engine out of action. Now, the author he believes that unless the wind and the sea abated, means the velocity or the speed of the wind must get reduced, and even the sea which was acting against the direction of their ship, so this is to be checked, and then only they could again raise their sail and could hope for reaching this safe island. The great wave had put out our auxiliary engine out of action, and also the author informs us that their auxiliary engine was already out of order, already damaged by the sea waves. तो यहाँ पर लेखक हमें बताते हैं कि 15 घंटे तक लगातार वो समुद्र की इन लहरों से लड़ते रहे, लेकिन जो वेव वॉकर जिनको बड़े ही बारीकी से समुद्र की इन घातक लहरों से लड़ने के लिए तैयार किया गया था, लेकिन लेखक यहाँ पर अफसोस व्यक्त करता है कि वेव वॉकर वो जो नाव थी समुद्र की इन लहरों का सामना नहीं कर पाई, और अब ये नाव इस स्थिति में नहीं है कि लेखक और उसके पूरे परिवार को उनके मंजिल ऑस्ट्रेलिया तक सुरक्षित पहुंचा सके। इसलिए अब लेखक को चिंता होती है और वो अपने कंट्रोल रूम में जाकर के लगातार अनुमान लगाने की कोशिश करता है कि क्या समुद्र में कोई उन्हें सुरक्षित जगह मिल सकती है, और फिर वह निष्कर्ष पर निकलता है कि समुद्र में कहीं दूर, कहीं कुछ किलोमीटर दूर पूरब दिशा में दो द्वीप पड़ते हैं, और उनमें से एक जो सबसे नज़दीक उस वक्त था इल आम्स्टर्डम, जो कभी फ्रांसियों के द्वारा एक बेस, साइंटिफिक बेस के रूप में प्रयोग किया जाता था। और इस वक्त केवल जो नरेटर हैं उनकी बचने की उम्मीद केवल यही द्वीप था, लेकिन इतने बड़े विशाल समुंदर में इस छोटे से द्वीप को ढूंढ पाना बहुत मुश्किल काम था। लेकिन हवा और समुंदर की जो लहरें थी वो काफ़ी उफान पे थी, और अब लेखक नरेटर जो हमारा है वो उम्मीद करता है कि किसी तरह से थोड़ा सा हवा की गति कम हो, समुंदर की जो लहरें हैं वो थोड़ी सी कम हो, ताकि वो दोबारा उस सेल, उस कपड़े को ऊपर टांग सके, जिसकी मदद से नाव आगे जल्दी जल्दी बढ़ सके। और नाव बहुत धीमी गति से आगे इसलिए बढ़ रही थी क्योंकि नरेटर का जो इंजन था, ऑक्सिलरी इंजन था, वो उसे लहरों ने पहले ही ख़राब कर दिया था, उसने काम करना बंद कर दिया था। On January 4, after 36 hours of continuous pumping, we reached the last few centimeters of water. Now we had only to keep pace with the water still coming in. So on the next day, on January 4, 36 hours. For the last 36 hours, they were continuously pumping, and hardly they reached a few centimeters of water. It means they were continuously pumping, but still the volume of water is flowing inside was large. Now at this moment, the only chance of their survival was that they had to make a peace with the water still coming in. Means the volume of water coming in must be equivalent to the volume of water pumping out by all the people on board. Otherwise, the boat will sink. We could not see any sail on the mainmast. Pressure on the wriggling wounds would simply pull the damaged sections of the hull apart. Now, the author realized that pressure on the ropes means the rope to which the sail was tied. If the speed of the wind increases, then definitely it will put pressure on the sail, and which will further damage the starboard side of the boat and will keep the damaged sections apart. Means it will create a large crack and thus letting in a large volume of water, which was too dangerous at this moment. So we hoisted the storm jib and headed for where I thought the two islands were. Mary found some corned beef and cracker biscuits, and we ate our first meal in almost 2 days. And then the narrator, he turned the ship to the east direction where he was expecting these two islands, and in between then his wife, she served him with corned beef and some biscuits, and now they were having their food almost after 2 days. तो यहाँ पर 4 जनवरी, एक दिन बाद, लेखक कहते हैं कि लगातार 36 घंटे तक वो पानी को बाहर फेंकते रहे और इस तरह से कुछ ही सेंटीमीटर पानी का लेवल को वो कम कर पाए। और अब ज़रूरत थी कि जितना पानी नाव के अंदर आ रहा था उतना ही पानी को बाहर फेंका जाना जरूरी था, अन्यथा नाव डूब जाती। और बहती हुई हवाओं की वजह से जो दबाव उस नाव के टूटे हुए हिस्से पे पड़ रहा था, जिसकी वजह से उनके बीच का जो जोड़ है वो धीरे धीरे खिसक रहा था, जिसकी वजह से ज़्यादा पानी नाव में आने लगा। और इसलिए लेखक ने जो है, नरेटर ने जो है, नाव की दिशा उस पूरब दिशा की ओर कर दी जिस दिशा पर जाने पर उसे उम्मीद थी कि वो दो द्वीप उन्हें मिल जाएंगे। और इसी दौरान उसकी पत्नी ने उसे कुछ भुना हुआ मांस और कुछ बिस्किट्स खाने को दिए। और ये वो वक्त था जब लगातार 2 दिन तक वो पानी पंपिंग में ही लगे रहे और 2 दिन के बाद उन्हें कुछ खाने को अभी मिला। इससे पहले वो अपने काम में इतने व्यस्त थे कि उन्हें खाने की तक फुर्सत नहीं थी। कोई भी व्यक्ति अगर दी हुई जिम्मेदारी को कुछ पल के लिए भी छोड़ देता तो शायद वो इस वक्त तक डूब चुके होते। तो किसी भी हाल में, चाहे उन्हें भूख लगी हो, प्यास लगी थी, पर किसी भी परिस्थितियों में कोई भी जो है अपना स्थान नहीं छोड़ सकता था। But our respite was short lived. At 4 p.m., black clouds began building up behind us. Within an hour, the wind was back to 40 knots and the sea were getting higher. The weather continued to deteriorate throughout the night, and by dawn on January 5, our situation was again desperate. Respite here means relief. But as they were feeling relief from this, uh, the sea waves, but the narrator he realized that their happiness was short lived. Again at 4 p.m., black clouds began building up behind us. Within the hour, the wind was back to 40 knots. So, again, the author realized that very soon there was a whole the area was surrounded by black clouds, and within an hour the wind again started blowing faster and faster, and sea waves they were again becoming violent. The weather continued to deteriorate, and the situation of the weather continuously deteriorated, and the whole throughout the night. And when on January 5, the situation their situations was desperate, means they lost hope for their survival. लेखक और उनके परिवार की जो खुशी थी वो बहुत कम समय तक रही। शाम 4 बजते बजते फिर से आकाश में घने काले बादल छा गए और 1 घंटे के अंदर ही अंदर हवाओं ने फिर से तेजी पकड़ ली और समुद्र की लहरें फिर से उछाल मारने लगी। और 5 जनवरी के सुबह होते होते परिस्थितियाँ बद से बदतर हो चुकी थीं और इस तरह से नरेटर खुद को फिर से निराशाजनक स्थिति में पाता है। When I went in to comfort the children, John asked, "Daddy, are we going to die?" I tried to assure him that we could make it. "But Daddy," he went on, "we aren't afraid of dying if we can all be together, you and Mummy, Sue and I." But as soon as the author managed to get some time, then he went straight to his children. And when he met his children, Jonathan, his 6-year son, he inquired from the narrator that whether they are approaching their death. Then the narrator tried to assure them that no, soon they will, anyhow, they will manage, they will overcome this situation. But still, that young child, he said that he also tried to convince his father that they, means he and his sister, these both children are not afraid to die, because now they are much convinced that at least their whole family is together. So you, Mummy, Shu and I, as we all members of the family are together, then we don't scared of even uh, for dying. So now we have seen how this young boy was brave enough to face the reality. He knew that their death is very near, they, their life is in danger, but still he was optimistic and brave to acknowledge or to admit their death. I could find no words with which to respond, but I left the children's cabin determined to fight the sea with everything I had. To protect the weakened starboard side, I decided to heave to with the undamaged port hull facing the oncoming waves. Using an improvised sea anchor of heavy nylon rope and two 22-liter plastic barrels of paraffin. But now, as uh, Jonathan, he made this strong statement before his father that he is not scared of dying. Then the narrator, he got a lot of courage, a lot of uh, hope, and he left the children's cabin, and now he was determined that he will make all possible efforts whatever he could, so he will manage all the resources which he had to save the life of his family. And now he decided to protect the weakened starboard side because only the right side of the ship was damaged by the uh, strong waves. So now he decided to protect only that damaged part by a nylon rope, by tying this area, this side, with a temporary sea anchor which is made of heavy nylon rope and two 22-liter plastic barrels of paraffin, means kerosene, which was used as a fuel for the ship. So now he tried to protect this starboard side by tying ropes uh, with these plastic barrels of paraffin. That evening, Mary and I sat together holding hands. As the motion of the ship brought more and more water in through the broken planks, we both felt the end was very near. And now, in the evening, he got chance to sit with his wife. Now both were holding hands of each other, as now both of them nearly lost the hope for their survival. And now, as the volume of water coming in the ship was increasing, so now they could realize that their death is very near. But Wave Walker rode out the storm, and by the morning of January 6, with the wind easing, I tried to get a reading on the sextant. But again, the next day on 6th January, as the wind slowed down and the wave walker was successful in riding out the storm. Anyhow, he managed to face those violent storm, and then also the wind stopped blowing fast. Then again the narrator went to his chart room and he started reading the sextant. So sextant here is an instrument which is used to record angle and distance of an area. So back in the chart room, I worked on wind speeds, changes of course, drift and current in an effort to calculate our position. So now again in the chart room, the narrator was trying to calculate the wind speed, changes of direction, drift means the amount of thrust or force they were getting from the waves, and the current to calculate their position. So now the narrator was trying to calculate their exact position in the sea. as he has already told us that their compass was already damaged by the sea waves. Now, uh, only he was making assumptions and making a rough calculation of their exact position. The best I could determine was that there were somewhere in 150,000 kilometers of oceans looking for 65 kilometers wide island. And now the author was determined to find out a 65-kilometer wide island. Means the area of that island, when Il Amsterdam was only 65 kilometer, and the area of the ocean was 150,000 kilometers. Now just imagine how difficult it was to search such a small area in the vast ocean. While I was thinking, Shub moving painfully joined me. The left side of her head was now very swollen, and her blackened eyes narrowed to slits. So now, while the narrator was thinking about the about searching the Sape Island, then Shu, her daughter, his daughter, moved painfully and joined him. Then the narrator saw that left side of her head was swollen, and again her blackened eyes narrowed to slits, and she was also having injuries on her eyes, and which was narrowed to cuts. She gave me a card she had made, and now, as she uh, went to see her father, then she handed over him a card. On the front side, she had drawn caricatures of Mary and me with the words, "Here are some funny people. Did they make you laugh?" I laughed a lot as well. Inside was a message. "Oh, how I hope you both. How I love you both." So, this card is to say thank you and let's hope for the best. Somehow we had to make it. So, now Shu had drawn a caricature. So, caricature means satirical pictures. Satirical pictures. So in that card, Shu had drawn some uh, pictures, funny picture of Mary and the narrator, and uh, by handing over that card to her parents, uh, there was a message inside it. It was, "Here are some funny people," means this was the title given to the picture. And when they saw the picture, the narrator laughed a lot. And inside again there was a message that how I love you both, means Sue wanted to express her love to her parents. So this card is to say thank you and let's hope for the best. So actually this was a thank giving card. As a daughter, she wanted to thank her parents for the efforts they took throughout the journey for saving the life of their children and the family members. So now she wanted to express her thanks to her parents, and also she was hoping for the best. And somehow we had to make it. And now the narrator said that uh, at any cost, because now we don't have any option. So at any cost, we have to act on her hope. So the possibility of our survival was though very low, but still we have to make efforts so that soon we can find a safe place uh, where they can take shelter and can even find sufficient time to uh, repair the wave walker. So this is the end of the second video. Till then, take care. Goodbye.